and we see her power getting less and less. I really like this. Maybe should be a little more explicit, maybe, but I think it's great. And the lasso here is doing things it never should have, but she does look great doing it, so I don't care. And man, I mean, Diana clearly in this movie is not the fighter. She's more of the peacemaker and the defender, and just being that, she's still so great. Imagine, look at this, Jesus. Here we have the hair. The hair is good again, it's fine. And I like Kristen's performance. I mean, I like Cheetah, guys. I'm telling you, Cheetah's cool. And her motivations feels more straightforward. It feels organic. It's not out of nowhere, because I mean, Patty is good with escalation. I think could be a little more gradual, but it does feel organic. And you have this craziness choreography. I love that. And Diana feels a little bit more in the passenger seat, because she can't be so proactive due to her power losing thingy. And I guess that's what feels like a loss. But I mean, Patty's really good with hand-to-hand. I'm impressed, because it's very hard to edit hand-to-hand combat and look good. It actually feels very... I like how she puts emotion in there. That's something that Zach has a little bit of trouble with, because he can do action flawlessly, but Patty can put the emotion in the action, and that's no easy feat. And Kristen does well. I love this. I mean, Cheetah, I'm telling you guys, Cheetah versus Diana is where it's at. I want that in Wonder Woman 3. At the same time that I want her to do something totally different. This, I think, it's gonna be memes heaven. Because look at this. This is meme heaven. Such a striking image to see Diana in this state. Because it's fucking Wonder Woman, you know? And it's just something I couldn't possibly conceive, to have her so weak. And it's a very powerful image. And this is gonna be meme heaven. I mean, look at this. The way she looks and her expression, and Gal's performance. Gal is so great in this. And Kristen is so great in this. I mean, I'm sorry. I like this. I don't know if people don't like it. I love this. Ooh, her hair looks cool. Go get it. And and then we have that little, cue for me being a cheetah. All right, cue granted. And then we go to the chaos. This is okay. We're getting to that scene. This is the scene. There were signs of protests from victims of HIV, and how they were being basically abandoned, not only by society but the government, and leaked some images leaked that it was being involved in the Wonder Woman 1984, and I thought that was fucking genius, and I couldn't wait for it. And I don't know if that actually happened and they then didn't use it, or if it was part of this and they changed the tone, the subject. Maybe it was too serious, and maybe it was. And here what we have is chaos. That is very reminiscent of that era for different reasons. I mean, I think maybe that's the thesis of the movie, and how Patty feels that it fits with 1984. The idea of so much good happening and so much bad happening in 84, and how this wishing thing could fit there. But I think it inevitably, being a tool of the Imaginarium, the wishing and careful what you wish for, this scene loses some of its power. It's an incredibly competent scene, and it's a scene that I think reminisces to the World War I, where Diana sees what war is like. People being dismembered, orphans screaming for their mothers, people saying that they're hungry. And that scene touches me every time in the first Wonder Woman movie, because that's how we feel when we just don't know why that's happening, but it happens, and we feel like Diana there. In this movie, we have this scene very much reminiscing that, the world in chaos, 1984, but the reasoning is so different, and it undercuts the emotion, because the reasoning, it's the Imaginarium. War is not imagined, it's very much real and in all its horror. And we see here a chaos that is a product of a non-real entity, which would be the stone thingy. But of course, we're talking about the real villain of the movie is greed, is the desire, is the non-content with what you have, and that is very destructive. Yes, it's a surprisingly basic message. If I'm being perfectly honest, I think Patty could have a little bit more than just careful what you wish for, and you don't need what you think you need, which is a very important message, but it's not a message that it's very sophisticated in today's cinema. We are, I feel, beyond that. And so, as much as people criticize Batman v Superman and Man of Steel for going for supposedly self-indulgent themes of isolation, and Joker maybe, where they go for hard themes, that they're like, what are you talking about? You're a superhero movie. Well, I see no problem in superhero movies going there. And I feel that the first Wonder Woman movie did, and this one, it had a thesis, it had a message, it had a lesson, but it was a lesson that maybe wasn't so urgent as the previous one, or the previous some of the previous DCEU movies. And here we have this goodbye, which was so it felt a little bit sudden and no less sad. It's a very touching scene. Gal, again, I love Gal. She doesn't get to exercise this muscle too much, the emotional one, but she has it, and it's one that feels surprisingly genuine. And I think that why some people feel that it's a little bit cartoonish, or it's a little bit on the nose, that it's because we are used to movies being overly theatrical about emotions and expressing emotions. Because, I mean, you can count I could tell you right now, when have you seen someone have a crying monologue, or when have you seen someone have a very dramatic, emotional scene, as we see generally in movies, versus this scene, having someone simply crying in front. This is a scene that I can have witnessed, and I can't have lived. I identify with it because it feels like a very genuine communication and emotion in this moment. And it's a very hard scene, and it feels a little bit early, ironic, because it's been like 70 years, but it feels a little bit early for the franchise to do this, since the last one did too. Cannot blame them though. I mean, they changed so much, and so it feels like they wanted to keep the strongest element from the last movie, and they kept it. But I think they kept it a little too close to what it was. That being their goodbye. And oh my gosh, this scene is so destructive, and I love her anger. It's something that I love. I love to see Gal as angry Wonder Woman. She should be that so much more. And it's instant. She lets go, and then her powers are back. And again, iconic scene time. Wonder Woman learning how to fly. This is something we'll never forget. There's an emotional core to it. That's man, I would love to see this juxtaposed with Superman learning how to fly, because they're two beautiful scenes, and I love that they're not borrowed from one another. She has, of course, the Superman pose. It's classic, but this is Wonder Woman. This is Wonder Woman. The clouds, the ethereal of it, it's exclusively on Wonder Woman. Superman could never. Anyway, here is the apex predator thingy. There you go. And it's interesting because she loses her humanity, and I like that. That was an interesting twist. And she keeps losing her humanity, and she doesn't care. Well, that's the point. She doesn't care for her humanity because she's losing her humanity. At this point, she doesn't even want to be human anymore. I love that. And then we have here plot guy doing plot device things, doing plot world stuff. Not big on it, but I like this. This is such a basic message. Again, same criticism. We learned this message. We learned this before. We don't need, I don't know. Yes, I wish you were dead. Imagine, these are classic messages. I don't think we need this, but yes, this is don't go to sleep with this frown in your pocket. Is that the song? I'm sorry. But yeah, don't go to sleep being mad at someone. You don't know what's gonna be tomorrow. Careful what you wish for. And again, this part I don't care so much. But I'm telling you, Minerva's arc is where it's at. Is the best one in the movie. And when she becomes a cool ass white cheetah, that's cool as fuck. And then we have Diana wearing this. Oh my god, you're telling me this armor got destroyed? This is such a badass armor. I think it could have a little bit of a more organic reasoning for it, but it looks beautiful. And then we have this thank you very much that will never get old. I love it. And we have Barbara. What did you do? I mixed with Logan. What did you do? I mean, that line stayed with me forever.